hearts alight with giving glow, side by side through highs and lows. Together find a way to show love that only grows. Me and Betty's guiding star shines on missions near and far, helping hands like we were one till the day is done. Spread love's light through the night, Mission 22 in sight, hearts burning bright. Wreaths across the winter snow, each a promise we bestow, honoring those who let us know freedom seed we sow. In the shadows be the spark, light a fire in the dark. With one voice we'll make our mark, together we'll embark. Through the valleys we unite, every step a gleaming light. With the Johnsons guiding sight, we make the world right.
JJDrones, they take the load, winging it with friends in tow. Life on the screen, you watch the show. Laughs and chatter in the air, nothing to hide, nowhere rare. Live stream fire, join the flare, adventures wild without a care. Tune in live, don't be late. JJDrones, if they communicate. Stories bold, videos great. Join the team, feel the faith. Tech and travel, flying high. Questions answered, never dry. Drones and gadgets touch the sky. All the news, no alibi. Underneath the digital sun, friends and fun, they are the one. Learning's cool with a twist of fun. Hit subscribe, the ride's begun. Tune in live, don't be late. JJDrones, if they communicate. Stories bold, videos great. Join the team, feel the faith. She said media brings the answers. Drone and veteran shows disasters. DJ and Gary make us laugh, while the train wreck clears the path. Tune in live, don't be late. JJDrones, if they communicate. Stories bold, videos great. Join the team, feel the faith. Join the team, feel the faith.
I appreciate all of you for coming along for this ride with me, and we'll see you later on down the road.
I'm Karl Marx, and I approve this message.
It's JJDrones Live. Welcome to the train wreck. I appreciate everybody for being here today. We have got Cheesehead Media backstage. We've got Christian. We've got Shirley from Just Doing Our Best. We've got Ted from Off the Hook Outdoors. We've got TJ, Giggles FPV, and Gary backstage as well. If you would like to have one of your videos featured on my website, email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com. And for everything JJDrones related, go to JJDrones360.com. And if you're going to do some Amazon shopping, why not use my links on Amazon, JJDrones360.com/Amazon1. And our Spreadshirt shop is now open. It's JJDrones.myspreadshop.com. And if you'd like to donate to the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity, that's JJDrones360.com/donate. And we have got $1,007.69 in donations to go out there to the Wreaths Across America and Mission 22 charities. So thank you, everybody that has donated so far. And we're going to continue our donation drive up until the Cyber Monday. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate that. I worked really hard on that, and thanks to AI, we were able to put together An interesting intro. Let's just put it that way. So I appreciate that. But today we are going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to do it at the expense of some morons in Washington. But before we do that, let's bring up our co-hosts of the show tonight. We have got TJ Giggles FPV, Gary from Jill Bait and Tackle Outdoors, and Brian from Cheesehead Media. How's it going tonight, gentlemen?
Good.
Good to see you all tonight. Now, we have been having a pretty much a long-standing show since February about DJI and the CCP drone ban, and we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. But before we do, we have to thank our sponsor of this season of the JJDrones program, Johnson Juice.
Well, it's just after 9 and decided to have some breakfast. I got my waffles here, but you know what? I couldn't quite have my waffles without my tasty Johnson Juice. That's it. I'm having my waffles with my tasty Johnson Juice. Yum, yum.
Nothing tastes better, all thanks to you.
You look good there, TJ.
Oh, thank you.
You did really well. And yes, Gary.
I vote for the handlebar mustache to come back. That was really, really cool.
You mean that one right there?
Yes.
That would be the one. And before we get into all of our fun tonight, we have to go to our Florida Man tip of the week.
Ooh.
Hi, I'm Carl Marks. You're watching JJDrones on YouTube.
Welcome back. Today we're going to give you an outdoors cooking tip of the week exclusively for the JJDrones show. I got this friend named Dan Maybe. That feller, he's got a YouTube channel called Droning Veteran. And that fella's always showing off all his truck driver money. I got a Traeger. I got a Blackstone. Blah, 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 blah. He always doing that, right? Well, this tip is, why don't you save some of your money? I got me right here a $15 White Rock at Dollar General. What could you do with all that extra money there, Danny? Danny boy? I tell you, some fellers just don't. Maybe you ought to put that money into droning lessons. By golly.
So White Rock is better than Blackstone, huh?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, like $15 plus tax. Well, I mean, I can cook an egg. I can burn a steak just like Danny Boy. Hell yeah.
Dude, you know, it's crazy. Like, you'll be sitting there watching TV late at night, and an infomercial will come on and be like, oh, I'm going to order that. And then you get it, and like, man, this thing's a piece of crap. Like, what the hell why did I buy this stupid thing?
This is my White Rock. It is not a piece of crap. Do not insult me like that. It says right here on the back. Let me show you something there, mustache man. Right there. It says good. It says good cook right there. Because they already know I'm a good cook. Right there. It says it right there.
Yeah, it does look like it can cook some good eggs and a nice piece of steak. Heck yeah.
Yeah, damn right.
Well, I appreciate you doing our Florida Man tip of the week. This week we don't have Blinker Flu of the week. Yes, sir.
Can you put me on the big screen?
Yes, sir.
He's laughing at Danny Boy right now. He's laughing at Danny Boy. That's it. I'm done.
Well, we do have some very important information that we're going to get into. So let's roll our what would you call this? The DJI drone ban update.
Sky's the limit, but
There you
they
go.
want it low. Grounding their dreams in a world they don't know. Innovations crushed under the weight of fear and control. Is it too late? Clouds and drones, they're on the run, spewing those lies till the day is done. Clowns and drones up in the air, flying so high they ain't never there.
So we are going to make these clowns look like the clowns that they are. Who can forget these wonderful favorites of these wonderful people just trying to protect this country? Remember this greatest hit?
Mr. Singleton, how about CCP-controlled drone companies? Do you believe it's a good or a bad idea that these drones are being used in the United States that are linked to communist China?
Sorry, absolutely. DJI sits at the heart of China's military-civil fusion strategy, which breaks down barriers between the civilian and military institutions to mobilize the former in service of the latter. So DJI drones collect vast amounts of sensitive data, everything from high-resolution images of critical infrastructure to facial recognition technology and remote sensors that can measure even an individual's heart rate. Compounding the DJI risk is their capacity for geofencing. So they can use GPS data, using GPS data, DJI can decide whether one of its drones will function in a given area, allowing the company to turn down or turn off entire fleets of drones. I think the ability to deactivate American drones shouldn't be entrusted to a foreign entity, least of which the CCP.
Brian, do you remember that one?
Yeah, and he's not exactly wrong with when he talks about geofencing, but I think his concept of the implementation of it is way off. Because yes, they can control where they fly, and right now they're controlling that they can't fly in sensitive areas.
Right.
So,
And who can forget this greatest hit?
And ensuring the rest of the world was forced to rely on communist China for unsecured drone technology. Due to these authoritarian policies, America has been flooded with drones manufactured by CCP-controlled drone company DJI. Allowing artificially cheap DJI drones to monopolize our skies has decimated American drone manufacturing and given our greatest strategic adversary eyes in our skies.
Yeah, they're really decimating the American drone industry that doesn't exist.
The whole thing about them being cheap. Does she? Oh, maybe they're cheap for her because we know how much she's getting her pockets lined.
Right.
They're definitely not cheap for me.
Right.
Over the last 7 years, the U.S. government has publicly confirmed time and time again that DJI drones are being used to collect information on U.S. critical infrastructure and pose significant risks to U.S. national security. Moreover, DJI is on the U.S. Department of...
Okay. Excuse me. Just give me a second. Queen Stefanik, do you really want to go with that? Is that your final answer? I mean, she says that like it's accurate, Brian.
Well, the only infrastructure that it's collecting is where the owners fly them. Sometimes where they shouldn't.
Then my
It
friend.
makes it sound like they're just doing this on their own. You know.
My
I wonder if I put
friend.
my drone out in my driveway, if it just takes off, flies around, comes back when it runs out of battery or something.
Okay, well, she shouldn't have said that for one, because we have something called an audit that DJI reached out and did, and she's going to look like a clown here in just a few minutes when we get into the actual report, because I have the actual report that was done by FTI. So, Queen Stefanik, I'm sorry, but yeah, you're wrong. And this truck driver that just does shows from the back of his semi, I'm going to make you look like a clown. Here's another great hit from Congress.
Because that's what Jesus wants. 9/11 was bad.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I mean that's about the yes, Gary.
For the unintelligent people in the audience, can you explain to me what FTI represents?
Okay, so FTI is a company that actually went out and let me pull this up. Okay. So FTI is a company that DJI hired to actually go out there and do an audit of their drones. And this happened September 24th, 2024. And it says here in 2024, FTI Consulting completed a cybersecurity assessment of the listed DJI products and mobile applications. For this assessment, FTI performed an assessment of newly released versions of DJI products and applications with a limited scope of evaluating the network traffic. The testing focused on the DJI Pilot 2 firmware version 10.1.0.30 and the DJI RC Pro version, and you can read it, but basically what they did was they went out there and they got one of the best and the newest versions of the DJI products, and they said, we're going to test it and make sure that all of this stuff is not happening. Hey, Shirley, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. So, Brian, do you know where FTI is located? Is it located over there in China somewhere?
I believe it's located in Virginia.
Yes, sir. You are correct. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Yes, you're correct. So we're not talking about some company that's over there in China that is trying to say that DJI drones are not handling sensitive information. Yes, Gary.
By any chance, Brian, is that near Quantico by chance?
Actually, I don't remember where they're located in Virginia, but I believe they are located in the in and around the Washington, D.C. area.
So that would be relatively close to Quantico.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we go into their methodology, their FTI's network review of the listed devices focuses on detecting, capturing, and analyzing network activity. All hardware was purchased independently. So they went out and they bought these drones through a DJI retail store and an online drone retailer, which I would assume might be Amazon. It doesn't say, it just says an online drone retailer. All testing was conducted using commercially available tools and methods, and network traffic was captured by conducting various flight scenarios. So, Brian, it sounds like what they did was they just did like any other consumer would do. They went out there, they bought themselves some drones, and went and put it through its paces and just did their measurements without DJI knowing when they were doing it or how they were doing it.
That would be correct. It's standard pen test. What most likely that they would have done is that they would have taken the drone, put it into an area, for lack of a better term, a Faraday cage, in which there is no outside radio signal that'd be able to get in or out, and except for what they have for receivers, and monitor the traffic that was being generated by the drone and the controller and where it was trying to go, which is quite simple to do.
So here's some of their key findings. They observed several instances where the DJI employed security best practices. Brian, can you, dumb that down for somebody like me that's not that smart?
Best practices means that they're using, just that, the best practices that are available. I mean, they talk about using SSL certificates, a secure socket layer, different ports. This is what I do, but I don't know how to explain it in layman's terms, except for the fact that it's, how do you work? It's like they made sure that the drone had both a airbag and a seatbelt.
There you go. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
So the collections and analysis of the assessment, which was completed on the East Coast of the United States, support the conclusion that all first-party data transmissions or transmissions to DJI-owned infrastructure resided where, Brian?
I believe they use Amazon services that are located here in the United States.
Absolutely. They also observed that the use of RNM, so I have no idea what RNM stands for, Brian.
Yeah, that one's got me too.
So, but basically it says on the DJI Pilot 2 application, reduce traffic generation from the application to first-party application programming interface services managed by DJI, as well as third-party services that were integrated within the application. They also concluded that the use of local data mode. I'm going to repeat that for Queen Stefanik, okay? Because I don't think she understands it. Local data mode, Queen Stefanik. Local data mode. Okay. They concluded that local data mode on the DJI Pilot 2 application resulted in no outbound traffic. No outbound traffic to either first-party or third-party services. The use of local data mode appeared to disable all features and resulted in no network requests being captured. Brian, who said that?
I believe that was Queen Stefanik that said that they're giving away all of her information.
But didn't we have multiple episodes where we talked about local data mode and how 99% of drone operators fly in local data mode with no internet connection to their drones?
Yes.
Okay, so Queen Stefanik, call your office because I think you're getting wrong information.
Oh, no, she's getting the information that she wants from the people that are giving her money.
Hey, Dan, thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate you being here today. I'm glad that you were able to, came home to fish up one out of town. Oh, jeez. So,
that sucks. I hate when that happens.
At least you caught a fish, Gary.
Yeah.
But
maybe he could cook it on one of these. You know what I'm saying?
He could.
He'll
So
learn.
here we go with I'm just going to go here to RNM was restricted network mode, Brian.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They concluded based on the network traffic collection and analysis that the use of restricted network mode on the DJI Pilot 2 application reduced traffic generation from the application to first-party services managed by DJI, as well as third-party services that are integrated within the application. RNM reduced the drone's functionalities after enabling the setting. For example, DJI's map services required access to DJI's API for identifying the drone's location using GPS. So basically, it's just restricting what you're able to do with the applications on there. But like we said, most people use local data mode, and they wrote it in here again that they concluded that the use of local data mode on the Pilot 2 application resulted in no outbound traffic to either first-party or third-party services. The use of local data mode appeared to disable all featured and results in no network requests being captured. Data and privacy, FTI concluded that DJI's data and privacy options within the DJI Pilot 2 application impacts which features are active while using this device. FTI confirmed that this by completing a comparative analysis of the network traffic seen while testing the drone system's network security modes, standard mode, and restricted network mode. Although this impacts the functionality of the drone, users with concerns about data associated with the drone could use restricted network mode on the DJI Pilot 2 application, as it reduces the amount of inbound and outbound communication from both first-party and third-party services integrated within the drone system. So, Brian, it basically sounds like FTI's findings from their audit completely debunks everything that Congress has been saying.
I'm going to agree with that about 99%. And here's the one caveat that I have. It really depends upon how DJI sets these things up by default. If by default all those RTN mode and everything is turned off, then yes, they are sharing. If by default those security settings are turned on and we have to turn them off as a user, that's actually better. It's but then that's a catch-22 because you're now turning off features that some people are going to want and may not know how to turn on. You know, one of the items that they talk about is, and I use sometimes when I do lose a drone, is the mapping.
Right.
You know, if I don't have a local cached map, I do need to have that internet connection in order, and it shows up in Google Maps in the little corner where my drone, you know, landed at on its own. I have yet to crash like you and Dan. I've had forced landings, but I've never crashed like you and Dan.
Okay.
So, you know, so, but you can get a, so knowing that that is there, knowing that that is appearing on the screen, if like the restricted network mode is by default turned on, all that will tell me is what direction to walk. Whereas having it in the off position by default, you know, I can see in Google Maps, hey, there's it's between this building and that building over there, you know, a quarter mile away, and I'm hiking through a woods. So there, is she 100% wrong? No, but I mean, it's coming down really to semantics at that point.
Okay,
you know,
but here's where I'm going to challenge you on that, though.
And but again, if you know how to turn the stuff off, and it's a requirement to turn it off, like if you, let's say we have a government entity, a police department that, or fire department that buys, you know, a Matrice Enterprise. Okay, anything used in public safety, that has to be off by default. You can go in and do it, and maybe have those off by default, and then the consumer level have it on by default. There's different ways around this, but it's such a minuscule difference, and then it's meaningless. What she's doing is that she's trying to create a scare that doesn't exist.
Right, and then, but the other part that you're leaving out too is the fact that, like we said, and like it says in the report, any information that is stored by DJI is actually stored here in the United States. It didn't say on the Amazon servers, but we learned that from our interview with Vic Moss, that the information that DJI gets here in the United States is all stored on Amazon servers. Now, DJI, for the most part, on the consumer side of things, has pretty much not collected any data since they took away the entire uploading your flight logs. Now, are they collecting some metadata here and there? Probably. But again, that's not stored in China. That's here in the United States.
Right. And, and I'll be honest with you, I know that they turned off the flight logs for, to try and be in the good graces of the idiots that be in Washington, D.C. But that was actually something that I liked and that I used. And I know of other drone pilots that have gone back, have been accused of something such as flying over, someone's house or their pool and, spying. They're like, hey, here's a flight log. We can watch exactly where I was and what I did. And it's, there wasn't even a case because, the law enforcement sits there and go, yeah, you never hovered over it. You flew from point A to point B because you were doing a roof inspection with a neighbor or something. And it's, so actually having some of this stuff that's coming out of DC is actually hurting us as a community, even though there isn't a restriction in place.
So thank you for bringing up DC hurting us with their policies, because we actually have a report from the GAO, which is the Government Accountability Office. And what is the purpose of the GAO, Brian?
The Government Accountability Office?
Yes.
It's to report on how the money that we are spending and, how things are going within the government, reporting back to, positives and negatives. And, for example, the GAO was talking about the Bureau of the Interior and everything that they've not been able to accomplish since this DJI ban went into effect in the federal government.
Okay, so here we go. So for decades, drones have helped the Department of the Interior manage
for decades?
Yes, it does. Drones have helped the Department of Interior manage remote federal lands and navigate hazardous conditions such as wildfires. I think we can take for decades out because I think that's BS. Since fiscal year 2020, Interior has been revising its policies to restrict the purchase and use of certain foreign-made drones due to potential security risks. I think we can put in parentheses that don't exist. Today, Interior is allowed to use them, but generally still isn't allowed to buy more of them. Brian, why would they be allowed to continue to use them if they're so dangerous?
Yeah, that's a question that you'd have to ask them, because if they're that bad, then they should all be grounded and destroyed. But no, we're just not going to let you buy new ones.
So here's what
idiotic.
Here's what the Government Accountability Office found. Amid concerns about potential security risks of using foreign-made drones in fiscal year 2020, the Department of Interior began to prohibit the procurement and non-emergency use of drones manufactured by companies domiciled in countries designated as adversary nations. It continues on. Let's see here. Interior faces challenges with maintaining a sufficient drone fleet because drones compliant with its policies are more expensive, such as Skydio's garbage. But anyway, more expensive and do not always have sufficient capabilities, among other issues. According to officials from the four interior bureaus GAO reviewed, the Bureau of Land Management, Fish and Wildlife Services, National Park Services, and the U.S. Geological Survey. Because of these challenges, Interior has not been able to fully replace its aging drones as they reach the end of their usable lives. And Brian, what do you think is going to be the result of that? You're muted, Brian.
Hey, right, I'm muted. When it comes to emergency services like wildfires, there's going to be a loss of life because of this.
Well, it's funny that you say that. Let's see. Emergency operations. Diminishing fleets have limited Interior Bureau's ability to expand their use of drones for emergency operations. And some bureaus no longer have enough drones to meet their needs for these operations, according to the bureau officials. For example, the BLM and the NPS do not have enough drones for their operations to manage, get this, folks, to manage or prevent wildland fires. And they've shifted some operations to riskier, more costly methods, such as helicopters. I thought we were supposed to worry about global climate change, Brian.
Oh, that only applies if you're not in the... Never mind. I'll just bite my tongue.
Okay, thank you. So that is from the GAO itself. This is from the U.S. Government Accountability Office. I am not taking this, and there's a bunch of news stories about it, and we're going to dive into one of them here. But this is the information that is shared directly from the Government Accountability Office. So I don't want anybody to say that, I was picking and choosing my information. It's directly from their office. Now, from Drone Life, the three takeaways that they took from it is their aging drone fleet and rising costs, because the average cost per drone has risen from approximately $2,600 in 2017 to over $15,000 in 2023. Why would that be? Anybody?
Well, that's easy. If you have a captive market, you can charge whatever you want because you don't have any competition.
Right. And then we've got operational limitations. The shrinking number of drones has limited the DOI's, Department of Interior's, ability to expand their use for critical operations, such as wildfire response and search and rescue. That sounds like that involves people's lives and property.
Yeah.
I think Brian was the first one to say on this show that this ban is going to cost people their lives. Yes, TJ.
Yeah, I don't really understand why there's some haters out there against drones. I mean, it's not like we're just having fun, minding our own business. We're not spying on anybody. We're not strapping damn Roman candles, although it's been done. But, we're not out there strapping Roman candles and shooting people or whatever. Like, we're just out there enjoying ourselves, taking some pictures, and just kind of, if for those of us that have our 107s, we're out there doing roof inspections and all this other crap. So I don't know why there's so many haters out there against drones. I think it's crazy.
Well, for one, I believe that there's a financial interest to these Congress people to ban DJI drones so that, another company with little blue drones can make more money. That is my theory.
I think DJI is like a whole lot better than Skydio, and I mean, at first I was gonna get one, but then I got convinced otherwise. But then when I first started getting into it, I started buying those Holy Stone drones, those kind of like little pieces of crap. And
right, yeah, they're toys.
Yeah, and so like I, worked my way up to DJI. I was like, damn, these drones are pretty awesome. Like DJI is like the best drone out there. I mean, you're not gonna get any better than that.
Well, and here's the third point that the Drone Life takes away from their reading of this report is the technological gaps. Compliant drones often lack the technological capabilities, say, I don't know, not being able to fly as well, maybe not be able to get into areas that some other drone could get into, but whatever it is, compliant drones often lack the technological capabilities needed for special tasks, such as carrying specialized sensors. Some compliant models have also experienced reliability issues, such as propeller malfunctions. So I'm thinking that you're probably not going to want to have malfunctions when you're trying to do, land management or trying to actually get the drones up in the air. Paul wants me to check my email.
Is there smegma on your camera, Gary?
What? Smegma.
Smegma, yeah. Because Paul said clean your camera. I don't know if there's like some smegma on it or something.
Is he saying it to me?
Yeah, he said, Gary, clean your camera.
That's what Paul said.
That's just Paul, man.
Okay, so when it comes to technology, DJI is probably one of the best, and they were basically the first one to come out with a really good drone.
Thanks, Paul. You just jinxed me. My mount just fell.
Here's a leak that's come out on the DJI Air 3S. Brian, have you seen this?
I've seen several of them. I'll wait for it to come out. I mean, there's been a lot of leaks.
But have you seen this with the LiDAR tech that they're employing on this one?
No, I haven't.
Well, now here is another thing where they're talking about first responders and how this could be used with our first responders. The yet to be released DJI Air 3S drone is poised to revolutionize emergency response operations with its groundbreaking LiDAR-based obstacle sensing system. So what it's going to do, it has the vision sensors up front, but it also has the LiDAR up front, and the LiDAR is going to actually be able to make you able to use obstacle sensing in low light areas. So according to Drone XL, the Air 3S is rumored to be equipped with a cutting edge nightscape omnidirectional obstacle sensing system. This tech creates a 360-degree awareness bubble around the drone, allowing it to detect and avoid obstacles from any directions, even in low light conditions. So they're saying that in smoke and mist, that it's got a significant advantage in penetrating it. The wavelength, the active sensing, the multiple returns of the LiDAR, because it can capture multiple returns from a single pulse, and then the 3D mapping, because the LiDAR is going to do a precise 3D point map. So you actually be able to have detailed spatial information even in low visibility conditions. Now here's a close-up shot of a leak picture where it's got the LiDAR right here up front. Here are the regular vision sensors, and then you have more sensors on the bottom, and then you have the LiDAR here as well. But they're saying that the previous DJI Air 3 required illuminance of greater than 15 lux, but the new the Air 3S with the LiDAR, the illuminance only has to be greater than 1. So hearing that, Brian, do you see how that could actually be used?
Oh, easily. I mean, say you're a fire department flying over a house fire. I mean, that'd be an amazing advantage to you. So, and
what about pricing?
I'm sure that's not cheap. This is where I'm and like I said, I haven't read all this, but I'm really surprised that they're releasing this technology into I'm going to say their mid-tier consumer drone and not putting it on, like, say, a Mavic 4, and it'd be available initially on the enterprise level drones with the heat mapping and stuff built into it. It's a little interesting, but I'm not saying it isn't there. Yeah, there it goes. Mavic 4 thermal drone. That's where I would think I would see it first.
Well, you know what DJI does? They put it on their consumer drones to test out the technology before they put it on their flagship drones.
This is true. This is true.
So what this is going to do is it's going to put it out there for, somebody like you or me that wants to go out there and buy one of these drones, and we're going to take it and we're going to test it and we're going to see how it works. And then they're going to make all the little tweaks that it needs to do in their software upgrades or their hardware upgrades.
And now, though, and this is me playing devil's advocate, how do they know how well it's working unless we're sharing data with them back?
Because most of the people like me that fly these drones are going to call up DJI customer service and say, hey, this isn't working the way that you said.
I'm just throwing it out there. Or is there going to be a checkbox as you go through the setup process that says, do you want to share flight data with DJI? Yes or no?
Right. And you have that option.
That's as much as, and that will add fuel to Queen Stephanic's argument. Not necessarily legitimate fuel, but that could add fuel to it.
Right.
So you have to be kind of careful on some of this stuff. But in the long run, if this is all they're sharing, and if it's anonymized, and we can, a company like FTI can say, hey, this is completely anonymous, then why not?
Right. Hey, Carl, thank you so much for coming in.
But then that's an option we have as a pilot if we want to share that. If you don't feel comfortable, have the ability to turn that off right there in the setup process.
But here's the thing, Brian. When you go through the setup process, you don't have to opt out. You have to opt in.
And that's the way it should be. It should always be opt in, not opt out. But
yes,
it's I'm just putting that out there. Is that it's little things like this that will add fuel to her argument. Whether or not it's a legitimate argument, it's a different story. But having that out there would add, fuel to her argument.
Now, these are going to be probably all of the rumors that I've seen online. These are going to be around $1,300 a piece for the fly market. So $1,300 versus, one of the big name Skydio drones that are going to cost anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the technology in these drones are going to be far superior to what is out there from any other drone manufacturer.
Agreed.
Betty says probably have to agree to share stuff with them in order to use one. Betty, and that's the thing. That's the one misnomer that Congress doesn't know because they've never had a DJI drone before. In order for you to go through the setup process, it gives you an option on whether you want to share your information with DJI or not. And if you do share your information with DJI, it's going to be shared when you're connected to the internet. Now, if you fly in local data mode, you're not sharing any information with DJI whatsoever. But if you do choose to opt into that information sharing, all of that information is stored where, Brian?
Here in the U.S.
Yes, here in the United States of America. So there is no reason for anyone in Congress to be concerned about what they're concerned about, other than the fact that their pockets are being lined by certain other drone companies. Yeah, but they are spying on you. There is more information going to China from this phone. There is more information going to China from the router in my house. There's more information going to China from the smart refrigerators that you have in your house. There's more information going to China from your internet-based car, where you've got OnStar or the mapping on there. If your drone is in local data mode, it's basically sharing as much information as my coffee cup with China. It doesn't matter, Paul. It's not the phone that I'm talking about. It's all the software inside of it. That's what it boils down to. Yeah, and I mean most of the Congress people in Washington D.C. use MacBooks and they use iPhones. So there you go.
And I'm going to argue with your statement there, Paul. It's actually iPhone security is actually a lot better than Android's, but that's another argument. And that's just coming from working with them all day.
All day long.
Well, not all day, but yeah.
Yeah, it's so I just wanted to come on and just say that you know, this truck driver that travels the country that didn't graduate college and you know, basically is just doing an hour-long show every Sunday or every other Sunday. If I was able to figure out that none of this was true, I would hope that Congress people would be able to figure out that none of this is true. And maybe they do. Maybe they all have ill intentions. But I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I like to think that some of them are well-intentioned in what they're thinking. But they are all being misled by lies, and I for one am not capable of supporting any incumbent that's running for Congress this year, because if you're not smart enough to figure this out on your own, then you know, you don't deserve to be working for me in Congress. So I am not supporting anybody that's an incumbent in Congress this year. Not to mention the fact that my congressman still hasn't gotten back to me yet.
Mine has, so.
Yes, yours has. I'm going to give your congressperson credit because he actually did answer you back. Hey, Robert Mack, thank you so much for coming in.
What's up, Robert?
It is just crazy, though, that in an election year that they would try and pull this stunt. And your great senator down there in Florida, what's his name?
Ron DeSantis?
No, your senator,
Rubio?
not your governor.
That's your governor.
Rubio?
No, not Rubio, the other one. He was the governor of Florida.
Scott.
Yes, Rick Scott. He is the one that was really trying to push the legislation for the drone ban in the Senate. So, you know, you still have time that you can go to droneadvocacyalliance.com. That's droneadvocacyalliance.com. Let me pull up their website here. And you can go in there and you can actually tell your senators and your representatives exactly what you think about this absolute garbage that they're pushing. And all you have to do is go down here, click on oppose the Countering CCP Drone Act, and you can make a phone call. You can post it on X, formerly Twitter. But you can make it known that what they're trying to do is absolute garbage. And it's proven through FTI, an independent company here in the United States, that everything that Congress is trying to push is absolute garbage. And all we're trying to do is be able to use the drones that we want. And if Congress was smart, they would adopt a policy where all they would do is buy DJI drones so that we would all, as taxpayers, be able to save a bunch of money. Because we could be saving anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 per drone, depending on what kind of drone they buy. And I still have yet to hear from any American drone manufacturer that has a drone comparable to DJI that they want me to test. But I still put that call out there. If you're an American drone company, you have a drone that's comparable to anything made by DJI as far as technology and price, and you want me to test it, I will test it. I will bring it here. I'll bring you here on the show. I'll give you the full hour. Yes, Gary.
This may be a stupid question, but I get inundated almost daily with I call it spam mail, but they keep sending me information about Falcon drone. Do you know anything about that?
Falcon drones.
Yes, sir.
Let's see here. FALCON drones.
I've never heard of them.
They are made in. Let's see, where are they? Who makes Falcon drones? Falcon drone is a lightweight quadcopter developed by Easy Aerial, and they are made in. Let's see here. Let's see, where is Easy Aerial?
I have no idea if there's good quality, bad quality, just chintzy, or I just find it funny that they're like flooding my email.
According to this, Easy Aerial drones are designed, built, and tested in Brooklyn, New York. Easy Aerial is an American aerospace company that specializes in autonomous drones for monitoring and surveillance. Your Easy Aerial drones, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't sound like it would be what you're talking about, but.
Well, I'm looking at their at one of their drones right now, and their resolution for video is a whopping 720p.
Wow.
It's not even HD. So
there you go.
Okay.
All right. So this is, let's see here. Share screen. And here is one drone that I found. And this has 25 megapixel camera, 3-axis gimbal, transmission range of 3 miles, 360 obstacle avoidance, and 2K video. And
What
you
is
can
that?
get that.
What's that one?
This one is the new Falcon from Lightel, Lighttel. And this one's $399 if you want one battery.
Is that a good price or a bad price?
I would say that's a decent price for something with those options. Let's see here. Where is it made, though? That's what I want to find out. Where are you made? And let's see here. Shipping, terms of service, drone warranties, contact us. Oh, that's made in China.
Well, the headquarters of the company's in China. If you go back to that, it's not just made in China. It's the whole company.
The whole thing is in China. Yep. The entire thing's in China. But it's got all of the, not all of the intelligent flight modes, but it's got a lot of intelligent flight modes. This is.
Oh, look how much better that it is than a $300 Amazon drone.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like the picture.
Right.
So, I mean, you can basically do what you want, but I wouldn't spend $399 on that. I'd rather go pay $399 for, or even less than that, for the new drone that DJI put out, that little one.
Hey, $399 will get you a Mini 3 at Costco.
Well, there you go. But Gary,
yes, sir.
if you can get your hands on one of those drones, we could definitely have some fun with that.
You want? Let me see if I hear you correctly. You want me to subject my personal data and information to the CCP so you can have fun? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, that does not sound like fun. Carry on, soldier.
Well, guys, I hope that you got a little bit of information that basically debunks all the things that our wonderful Congress people have said. Definitely go to droneadvocacyalliance.com because this battle is not over. Continue to let them know that you oppose any attempts at banning DJI here in the United States. They've already banned it for our officials in Washington, and you see the results of that. And basically anything that they're trying to do to ban the DJI drones is not because of safety. It's all because of the people that are donating money to them. So, if that's all they're really worried about, then that's fine. But let's be honest about it. And if you want to know where I got the information from, email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com. I have the full report from FTI, and I do have the news or the article from the GAO. So I'm happy to share that with anybody that wants it so that they can read over it themselves. But we're reaching the end of today's program. We're going to start with TJ and work our way up with the last word for the night.
Well, I enjoyed the show tonight. Lots of good information. Man, I just hope that this thing doesn't go through. I want to eventually, at some point, maybe in the near future, buy another drone if at all possible. I mean, I'm flying the ones I have now, but I would like to get another one if I can. But yeah, I just hope and pray that this thing doesn't go through, because we want to buy as many drones as possible and have fun with them and not be like doing anything that we don't need to be doing.
That's true. Thank you, TJ. And Mr. Prisoner of the CCP, you go next.
I think that's me. Is that me? I think that's me. All right. I want to just share something that's coming up related to Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity that I'm trying to do, be a good ambassador of that cause. And this Friday and Saturday night in Milton, Florida, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., where I've done videos. Ironically, this is so funny how this all comes together. I've done some videos from the historic Milton Cemetery, and where there's 400 veterans laid to rest there. And I was asked by the city of Milton, because I was such a PETA, that they asked me to help represent Reach Across America during these events coming up Friday and Saturday for 3 hours. So I honestly have no idea how that's going to go. I'm proud to try and represent as best as I can, weather permitting. There could be another system headed that way. I'm not sure. But anyway, hashtag find a way to serve.
Thank you. I think I don't know how to say prisoner number 53654 in China yet, but I'll learn.
How far away is that city from where I am? Probably like 5-6 hours.
You're around what, like Fort Lauderdale or somewhere?
Yeah, Riviera Beach.
Okay, so you're probably good 8 hours away, guessing.
Oh, well, I guess that wouldn't be too bad, I guess.
Brian?
Yeah.
Just pay attention to what your Congress critter is doing, what they're voting for, what they're not voting for. Support the troops, support the people of both Appalachia that got hit by, and the people of Florida. I mean, our country's been hurting a lot, and you hear, well, where's the government? The government's not there. It's we the people that have to help. So do whatever you can, and just try and it's support your neighbor. Your neighbor can either be next door, or your neighbor can be 4 states away, but they're still our neighbors, and we got to do whatever we can. And I'll hold this one out there. We're all talking about the people. What about the animals that are in shelters and stuff? There's a lot of people that had to quickly leave a pet behind, and those animals need food and water and stuff as well. So do whatever you can.
Yes, Gary.
I don't know if you guys heard the story about this being very, very nationally known in the recent media that some numbskulls tied a dog to a fence as the hurricane was approaching and just abandoned this dog. And fortunately for the Florida Highway Patrol, they rescued this dog, brought it to safety and shelter, and Ron DeSantis has made this a big political. I shouldn't even say political. That came out wrong. I apologize, but he made it. He gave it notoriety that you're an absolute idiot if you could do something like that. Just leave an animal like that behind, and it's now in the safety in Tallahassee. Because they don't know the dog's name, but they named the dog Trooper because it went through so much during this hurricane.
Well, there's a special place in hell for people that do stuff like that.
Yeah, I was about to ask, did they find the guy that did that shit?
Not yet.
Well, I hope that they find him, and I hope they prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law.
Put his ass in the damn electric chair.
So I thank everybody for being here today. I hope that you all learned something. I hope that you all learned that you're being lied to by your congresspeople. I'm not telling anybody how to vote. I'm just telling everybody that I am not going to support any of the incumbents in Congress this year because I know that they're either not smart enough or they're just lying to us. But how you vote is completely up to you. Definitely go out there, though, and vote on November 5th because your voice needs to be counted, and it's going to be a close election. So definitely go out there and vote. And for all of the people in Florida and North Carolina and Tennessee and South Carolina and Georgia, our prayers are with you. And if you're going to donate, don't donate to the Red Cross. The Red Cross takes 10% of your donations for administrative fees. Donate to mercury1.com. That's mercuryone.com. 100% of their donation money goes to the victims of the hurricanes. So go to mercury1.com, and if you want, you can check that out on there's an organization that tracks the 501c3's track record, and Mercury One puts out a statement every year, and 100% of all of their donations always went to whatever victim. So go to mercury1.com, donate there, because they're going to give all of their money they collect for the hurricane victims. And the Red Cross, they're more worried about making money for their administrators. So that's just my thought on it. But I appreciate all of you for coming along for this ride with us, and we'll see you later on down the road. Bye, everybody.